I'm 33 and this is where I live, the leafy outskirts of Winchester, but appearances can be deceiving. Come with me through my front door. Kitchen, living space, bedroom, bathroom, not quite what I expected when I was younger. I hoped I'd be a millionaire and married, not poor and alone. At least that's what this letter says. I wrote it in 1994. It's still sealed, its contents a mystery, but not for much longer. I'm hoping to find out how these old school friends have got on. Have their lives gone to plan? We went to school here, in Chandler's Ford, at Thornden, just 5 miles down the road from where I live now. A garden, a bath, running water. This was home, although it did look a bit different back then. I'm here at the Rec, our local park, where 20 years ago I'll be playing football with some of those old school friends of mine, talking about girls we fancied, no doubt. But what else did I have to say back then? My life in 1994, diary entry, John Wilson, 8A11, letter to myself for 20 years' time, real life fight over banana skin, people who have influenced my life. There's a note on the front. It says, well, something just about time you up, John, I would say. No doubt that you are one of the lads at the moment. You'll probably be a very respectable bank manager in 2014. When you have read this, trust me, I'm not a bank manager now. You have entertained me though. I'm not sure who that's written by exactly, but this is the front of it. So let's take a look inside, see what it has to say. John Wilson, directions to school from my home, 27th of January 1994. Go down Kingsway, past Grosvenor Road. Capital, says my teacher, who's marked that. I didn't put a capital G or a capital R. So go down Kingsway, where I used to live, past Grosvenor Road, walk about 20 metres and turn left into Malabreeze Road. Walk all down Malabreeze to the Malabreeze, Hiltonbury Road Junction, turn left and walk about 35 metres until you get to the end of the Hiltonbury Road. Turn left and walk 10 metres. This is gold, absolute gold. Then go down the subway and walk up the outside, walk up the other side of the subway. Walk for about 10 metres until you get to the school entrance. I'm quite impressed my handwriting wasn't as bad as it is now. And here's a little diagram of how to get to school from my house. For those of you who are really interested in this. Okay, whoa, drama here. John Wilson, My Imaginary House, this page is called, 27th of January 1994. In my room, I would have blue and white wallpaper with loads of football posters of players in the Premier League. My bed would be a double one with 10 pillows and a massive quilt. Although my teachers said I should have said they're separate quilts. I would have a separate, spelt incorrectly, games room with arcades, video wall, TVs, apostrophe in TVs there, so poor grammar there. The newest up-to-date hi-fi, a Mega Drive, SNES, NES, Game Boy, Atari Lynx and Mega CD. Quite clearly I didn't see that technology was going to evolve slightly over the 20 years that have just passed. Also in my garden I would have a football pitch, basketball court, tennis court and bowling alley. In my room I would have a bar, quite into drinking at that age, which is probably a bit worrying, jacuzzi and vending machines. Downstairs I would have Quasar and Laser Quest. In my massive wardrobe, key that it's massive, I would have Levi's and Wrangler jeans, loads of Nikes and Reeboks, along with 50 t-shirts, 50, that's important, and 30 jumpers, stroke sweatshirts, and 20 other pairs of trousers. Obviously clothing was going to be really important to me. And I would have a phone and a Vodafone, also a fax. Got to have a fax in 2014, that's very, very important. A full-size snooker table, a dartboard and Sky with all the channels. As it is, I've got Freeview, so not quite the same. My bathroom would have a jacuzzi, sauna and swimming pool with a toilet bath. I think I probably need a comma there. With a toilet bath and a multi-jet shower. Multi-jet shower, do they even exist? I don't know. And so my teacher has kindly marked this for me, saying, please write numbers as words, not figures, in English, e.g. 50, 30, 20. Please try to make your presentation better. Well, slightly harsh, you should see it now. Next page, again, oh no, moving into February here, John Wilson, a diary entry, 2nd of February 1994. This is what was happening to me then. I genuinely don't remember this. 7:30 AM, got up. 7:35 AM, got washed and had my breakfast. As you do. 7:45 AM, watched The Big Breakfast. 8:15 AM, Luke came round and walked to school. Luke Poulter, good old friend of mine there. 8:30 AM, arrived at school and talked to friends, e.g. Chris, Luke and James and Jez, in brackets, good friend. 8:35 AM, registration and notices. 8:50 AM, went to first lesson English. Clearly nothing interesting happened there because I just skipped to 10:15 AM, went to second lesson history. 11:25 AM, had break and talked to friends. That's always good. 11:45 AM, went to third lesson German. It's very matter of fact this. 12:55 AM, had lunch in cafeteria and played with friends. 1:30 PM, registration. 1:40 PM, fourth lesson RE, and a dramatic moment here where I actually add some more detail. Fourth lesson RE with Miss Whitehouse. 2:15 PM, next lesson, drama. 2:50 PM, walked back from school with Luke and James. 3:20 PM, went out and played with Luke and James. They seem to be featuring quite heavily in this. 6 PM, did homework and had tea. 8 PM, watched TV. 9:30 PM, went to bed and had a peaceful night's sleep. So that's reassuring. Oh, here we go. John Wilson, 20th of January 1994. Seem to have skipped back in time, bizarrely there. This page is entitled, Looking After My Dog. In the morning, I begin. Number 1, feed the dog with the correct dog food as opposed to the incorrect dog food, in which case the dog might die. So, number 1, feed the dog with the correct dog food and also give it a drink of milk. How considerate of me. Number 2, take the dog for a half-hour walk to burn off the breakfast. Clearly worried about how much weight the dog was putting on back then. So take the dog for a half-hour walk to burn off the breakfast, then leave the dog in the house in its basket, making sure it's kept warm. How considerate. At lunchtime, number 3, give the dog its lunch and a drink, leave to rest. Because I imagine the dog's really, really tired after it's had lunch and a drink. Number 4, in the afternoon, let the dog wander around in the garden for 5 to 10 minutes. Key that it's only 5 to 10 minutes there, obviously. Don't want to give it too much wandering around time in the garden. At tea time, number 5, give the dog its tea and a drink. Number 6, after giving the dog its tea, take for a half hour. Doesn't say, just says take, presumably I mean walk there. Number 7, after the dog has been taken for a walk, leave it to rest in its basket. Marked by my teacher says, good John. Perhaps you could have told me a little more about suitable foods for your dog and a little more about grooming. Grooming the dog. Oh, this one's interesting. 3 people who have influenced my life. My life. They influenced me so much I decided to type this. Oh, the first person, this is a surprise actually, the first person I'm going to talk about is Jamil. In junior school we were playing each other in a football game and we're always slagging each other off. Okay, my tutors there marked slagging as inappropriate expression. I came to intake day and found Jez was in my tutor group and was annoyed. With that. I soon made friends with him and am now good mates with him. After school I normally go out and play with him as well as some of my other mates. So that's a nice little message there. The second person I'm going to write about is my father, Robert Wilson. I can speak to him about things which have happened to me. Normally if he were to find out about who I fancy, he will take the mickey out of me. Nothing's changed there. He is a good father as well as a mate. He has helped me through the good and the bad times in life. He practically always has play fights with me, but never really hurts me. When my mates are around, he embarrasses me sometimes by shouting and laughing at the top of his voice. All in all, he's a good pop. Nothing's changed there. The third person I'm going to talk about is my rather kind mum, Mrs. Pauline Wilson. When I ask for something, she normally gives me it. She helps me with my homework. She is the best mum in the world, probably because she is the only mum. Hey, guess what? She's married to my dad. My mum is really loving and caring. She will always be there for me. 20 years on, that's true. By John Wilson. There we go. Next page. Stick with me. MT. This is Martin Tyrrell, I believe. In quotation marks, Nolan, you're such a asterisk, 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 you have no friends. CS, in apostrophe marks, Nolan, you're a right, and then a number of asterisks, Savile kicks Nolan. JN, which is James Nolan. Sav, keep your nose out of our business, you little asterisk, 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 shrimp. Obviously, that's a swear word. Next page, and referring to the front of this little, I'm not sure how you describe it, but collection of papers, play script, fight over banana skin. Did this really happen? I'm not sure. Let's find out. So, James Nolan equals JN, Chris Savile equals CS, Michael Talbot, equals MT. Okay, so what I've done here is I've actually read to you the end of this play script, and it wasn't Martin Tyrrell. MT stood for Michael Talbot. So let's start from the beginning. JN, James Nolan. Yo lads, how's it going? Lads. Oh, fine thanks Nolan. JN. Guess who I fancy? Lads. Who? JN. Anna. Lads. You gonna ask her out? JN. Probably. MT, speaking to Chris Savile. Shall I kick that skanky banana skin at No, which was short for Nolan? CS, go for it. Mike kicks it at Nolan. Nolan gets stressed. This is a play script, so it didn't necessarily happen in reality, bear that in mind. JN, you, asterisk, 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 probably quite a bad swear word there. MT kicks Nolan, then we're back to MT. Nolan, you're such a asterisk, 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 you have no friends. CS, Nolan, you're a right, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Savile kicks Nolan. JN, Sav, keep your nose out of our business, you little asterisk, 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 shrimp. Play script, fight over banana skin, that was called. Never really saw it produced. Oh, it continues here. Fight over banana skin. One Wednesday morning in the middle of break, James Nolan was having a quite intriguing conversation with some of the lads out the back. Quite intriguing, not intriguing, quite intriguing. A few spelling mistakes there corrected by my teacher. Michael Talbot was being his normal immature self, kicking a banana skin around. He accidentally kicked the banana skin, which was extremely slimy and disgusting, onto Nolan's feet. James was extremely displeased with this and called Talbot a asterisk, 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 asterisk. Talbot did not like what Nolan said, so he replied with a vicious kick to the shins. He also said Nolan was a asterisk, 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 asterisk. Chris Savile started being nosy and got involved in this brawl, and said Nolan had no friends and was a loner. Not true. Nolan said Savile was a little shrimp. Chris hit Nolan in the face and James replied with a powerful uppercut. Blows to the midriff from Chris came quick and fast. This brawl continued for 3 or 4 minutes until the bell for the end of break rung hard and loud. Chris and James were taking the mickey out of each other for the rest of the day. On Thursday morning they made friends and are good mates now. There's a nice little ending to that story. By John Wilson, 8A11. My teacher marks this with lively writing in the newspaper article or the story. I ought to be able to tell from the style. So slight criticism there, but some praise. Dear John, the next page starts. How are you feeling at the moment? You should now be 32. Well, I'm actually 33. I'm 12 and live in Chandler's Ford. My main friends are Jez, Luke, Howard, Donnie, which was Chris Donaldson, Sav, Chris Savile, Mike and Noland. Jez is going out with Anna. Hal still has feelings for the Coopster. That was James Howard. Nolan fancies Brooks, the girl who smokes. Donnie is going out with Briggs. Everybody thinks she is ugly. Luke is going out with Janice. I fancy Connie Bond, but she rejected me. Connie Bond there is in capitals, indicating how much I fancied her. Simon has just this moment asked out Kaz. She said yes, they are now a 8-11 item. Jez is asking Anna to dance with her at the disco tonight. Luke and Alex are saying to Mike that Anna will dance with him, but she will not. I think it is tight, but everybody is now and again. Alex and Sav broke up because they were slagging themselves off, and Sav thumped Alex. Horrible expression, inappropriate for English, my tutor says. Presumably referring to slagging themselves off there, and she's underlined it. Luke gave a Valentine's card to Jan, and she gave him one personally. Well, she gave him one personally. I do not think it will last. Chris got a very tacky rose and card from Briggs. Jez, Simon, Alex and Martin are going to Austria on Friday. I play football for AFC as right back. I have scored 1 goal this season. I support Saints in capitals, but they're not doing very well this season. They are 5 from bottom of the Premier League and are knocked out of both cups. I've just broken up with Jez because... apostrophe, 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 apostrophe. I've just made up with Jez. A very, very brief breaking up with a friend there. AFC are in the quarter-finals of the Tyro Cup and 3rd in the 2nd division. I think it's a bit pointless Simon and Kaz going out with each other because they never speak to each other. Jez phoned up the Coopster last night to see if she would go out with Hal, but she said she was going out on Saturday. Emma just admitted that she fancied Luke. Anyway, can't sit around all day. See you in 20 years. Hope I'm married to Connie Bond, from John Wilson. From John, that said. And that's the end of it. My life in 1994.